Hey everyone, we are the specialist team with Classic Beverage Company coming back to you for the third recording of our extra special happy hour. Kind of a little bit of a pun on the fact that we're all specialists with the company representing spirits, wine, beer, and sake, as previously mentioned. But just in case you're tuning in with us for the first time, that's who we are. You can see our Instagram handles up here on the screen. And we do have a special guest with us today, Mr. Ken Theobald, GM and founder of Classic Beverage Company. And obviously Ken has a lot of special qualities, but he is also a specialist in many varieties of beverages. So we're psyched to have him on today, reviewing some wine that he wanted to share with us. And just so everyone knows, the theme that we'll be covering today is, what would you like to be stuck inside with? So kind of playing on the fact that we've got Corona quarantine happening now. We're all inside. We can't be out in the market connecting with you all as we're used to. And kind of the things we're thinking about that are a little bit more sessionable inside. And it looks like we've got some snow coming in here in Denver as well. So maybe some things we're looking to sesh on for a cooler evening. So with that, I will kick it over to Ken Theobald, our special guest.
Well, thank you very much. I'm rarely special, but I'm very happy to be here. You know, I wanted to focus this time on the situation we all find ourselves in. You know, we can't be with the friends and family we'd like to be with. So I've always found that wine, spirits bring us together. And for me, the bottle of wine that I selected tonight is something that brings me together with an old friend. Even though they're not here, I feel like I get a chance to have a glass with someone who's been really important in my life. So I selected something that has returned to the Classic portfolio. I was fortunate enough to represent it about 35 years ago. It's Capizana. Capizana is really the estate that made Carmignano possible. It's the first place we see Cabernet Sauvignon in Tuscany, and it came from a pretty good source. Catherine de' Medici happened to bring it from Chateau Lafite to some of the early settlers of the particular land. I got a chance to, on my honeymoon, stay with Count Ugo Bonacosi Contini, one of the most gracious gentlemen I've ever met in my life, and someone that I really think of as the kind of person I would hope to be, like to be, and that we all get a chance to be with at some time in our life. He's no longer with us. When I met him, he was nearly 70 years old. But that's my drink tonight. It's a chance to be close to people when I can't be close to people. So here is to Count Ugo. This is Cabernet Sauvignon and Sangiovese. This is his Barco Reale 2015, a great vintage in Tuscany. Cheers, Count Ugo.
Cheers. Sweet. Carrying on with that theme. This family, the Fonseca and Mendoza and Garcia Bueno families, I'm rarely near them, right? I've actually gotten a chance to speak to my friend Sergio Mendoza Garcia Bueno pretty often this last week. So I just kind of had him on the mind. This tequila is my jam. This is the 2013 vintage of the Fuentes Cosecha Blanco. Really only produced in years when they taste Blancos off the still that are just banging, and they kind of trace back the source of the agaves. They're one of the largest independent agave growing families. Usually you contract agave on someone's land, you lease land and grow agave there. This family has been for generations one of the largest agave growing families. They sell the Air Buddy. So when they drill down to site specificity, really nobody can get quite as specific as they do. And this is really special stuff. This is really just the dry extract and then this soft press of the agave coming out of the ovens. And then, naturally fermented and distilled in copper and then left in stainless for 3 years before it's bottled. So it's had 3 years in stainless and then, 4 more years in bottle. And it really shows. We don't often, as consumers, think of Blanco tequila as a sipping tequila, but this one, being a Blanco tequila sipper, this is my jam for sure. So here's to Enrique Fonseca and Sergio Mendoza Garcia Bueno.
Absolutely.
Hey, Brian, can we get a bottle close up on that?
Oh yeah, of course.
Nice.
That's a special bottle indeed. And Brian and I got a chance one evening to sit with Enrique and sip that very bottle. And I have not had a finer tequila. And to be there with the man who helped to make it possible. You can see my sentimentality showing through tonight. I'm looking to be connected to the people that have made such a difference. And you folks are some of them here, and I'm thinking of family and friends. So thanks.
I am.
We are too, Ken. Who's next?
I think Karen's next. Should we do Karen next?
Karen?
Another wine for you all, but I'm glad Ken picked a red as I have a white, so hopefully we're not overlapping too much. Karen, wine specialist, and what I have today is the Yea Thalassitis, I think is how it's pronounced, Assyrtiko. This is a wine from Greece, and when I got to thinking about what I would want to be stuck inside drinking, I kind of, the whole phrase, what would be your choice to be stuck on a deserted island with? And so I went island with my theme because I was thinking of myself isolated on an island, and I wish that island were Santorini. I think that would be wonderful. Assyrtiko is indigenous to this island. This island was the site of one of the biggest volcanic events in BCE history. I think 1630 something is BCE is when it took place. Just blasting, 24 cubic miles of rock in all directions, causing a mega tsunami that created basically the Greek islands. And so we have a lot of volcanic soil where these grapes are grown, super high winds because we're by the ocean on an island. So I think this name is very appropriate. Thalassitis means to originate in the ocean. And that's what a good Assyrtiko from Santorini is to me. It has those saline notes. It's super high in acid. It's sessionable. You can drink it for long periods of time and still feel like you can be salivating for more. Slight lemon notes, green apple. These wines typically won't see any oak or malolactic fermentation. They're just a little bit better in their true minerally saline high acid expression, which I think this typifies perfectly. This is from 2018, and here we're drinking it in 2020. It has not fallen off at all. It is singing. The acidity is ripping. It is just something I would want to be stuck inside with, thinking of our producers in Greece. Cheers.
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 A lovely place. I've had the pleasure of being there, and to sit and watch the sun go down over the caldera. They call it the cauldron, where the volcano used to be. It is now a big hole in the ocean, forming this this almost moon-like shoreline. It's special indeed. Special indeed. So a great place.
Oh, cool.
Great.
Who's next? Me?
Yeah, you do it.
Apparently I'm amped today. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I love it. Alicia's ready to go.
It's because I missed last week, so you know.
Yeah.
I've been like overdrive this week.
Yeah.
So I had a really difficult time deciding what beer to choose for this because when I'm stuck in my house during quarantine, I want all the beers. You blame me, and I want all the wine. And, no, I'm just kidding. So I ended up choosing this Bergkopf grapefruit wheat beer. So Bergkopf is Brouwery Martens is a brewery in Belgium. And they make this line of beers called Bergkopf. We have a Pilsner from them. We have this grapefruit beer, a hard coffee that they make, and then we'll soon be getting a pineapple version of this beer as well. But the reason that I specifically chose this one is because it's really, really super juicy and fruity, and I feel like it's super versatile. So if you're looking for a morning beer or a beer to drink with your lunch, or if you just want to, like, I don't know, kind of not feel like you're drinking all day, like this one is kind of like drinking juice, and it's delicious. And I told the other specialists that I had a little extra surprise today. So a little all out. And not only do I have the beer by itself in this glass, but another cool thing about this beer is that it's so super juicy and grapefruity that I think it's really cool to make kind of like a mimosa style with it. So
Wow.
so I used some Zardetto Prosecco, and then I topped it with a little bit of the grapefruit. And I've been thinking about doing this for a long time, but this is the first time I've actually done it. And when I first tasted it, it's kind of cool because it brings out a little bit more of like an acidity, and it's just like drinking a really, really bright grapefruit beer that's a little bit lighter and super bubbly. So I thought that was really cool. And then I also made a cocktail.
Oh, there's more.
No less than 3 drinks. When you're brunching right? No less than 3 drinks.
So I used a little Van Jack vodka and obviously majority grapefruit Bergkopf. I guess kind of with like a screwdriver in mind, but honestly with like tequila, I think would be awesome to use it kind of as a replacement in a Paloma, which Brian can tell you about. Or like honestly with just about any spirit, this beer works really well. So yeah, cheers to that. It's super refreshing. Something fun to be drinking all the time.
I'm jealous and want to come over and grab my to-go portion.
Oops, I need to refill. Excuse me.
Yeah.
No judges, Ken. I have 3 drinks in front of me, so no judges.
Katrina, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Nagoriyana Yoki Kana, which we call Master's Touch. And when I was doing the same thing that we all did, sitting around thinking about my desert island sake, there's never going to be just one, because there are just so many that are beautiful. But if ever there's one that can make you forget what's going on around you, I couldn't help but think of this one. It's from the Fukushima region, which is like north of Tokyo, pretty far north and more inland. And it is just ragingly aromatic. It calls to you, and it is absolutely the most like jumping out of the glass. Grapes, Asian pear, pineapple. I get a little bit of marshmallow on this. It is vibrant, and you know, in a beverage category that sometimes people kind of get a little bit confused and say, I'm not sure what I'm tasting or if I'm tasting. You definitely don't have that problem with this one. This one is right up in your face and just intensely flavorful. It also does this really cool thing in your mouth where at first it feels like it's really sweet, and then it feels like it's heavy and fat, and then it finishes dry and light. So it's sort of like 3 different experiences all in one. So it's, you know, another reason that it's kind of a good thing to be stuck with. The style is a ginjo, so there's a little bit of neutral spirit that's been added to it, and that sort of acts like watering your whiskey. It perfumes and elevates the aromatics. This is also, even though it's not labeled as a daiginjo, it's a junmai ginjo, it's polished to 50%. So what you're getting in the bottle is more refinement than you're maybe paying for, and that's a pretty cool thing about it too.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious. Can we see a close-up of the front and back label?
Yeah,
Katrina?
you'll have to forgive me because I'm a messy girl and the back's a little bit torn.
It's all right.
Another cool thing.
You gotta go hard in the paint, man.
I'm active. What can I say? I don't talk about rice varietal a lot, but this is made with like the new cool kid rice varietal that everyone wants to work with. It's called Yamada Nishiki, and it tastes great, so that's a great reason to use it. But really, it's just kind of a fatter grain of rice that's got a great big bellied center that's easier to grind off and keep intact, which is why you can get to 50%. Maybe not easier than other kinds, but more consistently than other strains of rice.
Nice. It's hard. It's tough to be like bored sipping my favorite tequila of all time, but that sounds so good.
It does sound good. Yeah. Spiritual experiences there. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. I'm pumped about all those. I want to try all of those, and maybe I will.
Next time.
Maybe I
Yeah,
will.
Karen, I think you got the nice theme of the Greek island. If you're gonna be stuck, you might as well be stuck on Santorini.
Right.
I will say that if I had to be marooned in Tuscany, I could probably make
it.
do for a couple of lifetimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty nice place. So, well, what fun is this? Thank
Great. Of course, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for everyone that has made it this far in the video. We appreciate you hearing us talk about our favorite booze. Thank you to Ken and Brian, Alisha and Katrina for introducing me to some super cool new beverages. And if there's anything else you guys want to hear about, particular styles or comments on what we've been doing so far, just go ahead and drop us a comment or a direct message, and we'd love to hear from you. Thanks, everyone.
Absolutely. Thanks, gang. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Thanks.